Alright, everybody. Before I left Indiana, probably about 2 months ago now, I filmed a video in which I was pretty much cynically ranting about the state of the world. Now, of course, this was pre-inauguration day here in the United States. So we were still technically under the Biden-Harris administration. Then January 20th, everything changed. And I think enough events have transpired in just a little over a month for me to reiterate some of my points and talk further. In that video, I said it is getting to a point where you're going to have to pick a side. I would consider myself more centrist these days than anything, but at the same time, I can't, as a person of Jewish Arab descent, get along with people that are closeted anti-Semites, and even at this point, openly displaying it and having people explain it away when it doesn't make sense, because I feel like all of these people hate me just for being like a certain ethnicity, and they're lying to themselves and everybody about it. Then when they eventually snap and say like, we don't have to hide it anymore, then it's just gonna be okay. That makes no fucking sense. Just know that this election tells you. People always ask, what would you have done in the 30s in Central Europe? And everybody says, oh, I would have not voted for the guy that was the head of the Charlie Chaplin Mustache Club, and I would have fought against him. Just know if any of those people said that, and they voted a certain way, you know what they would have done in the 30s in Central Europe. Just know that these people would sell you out, full stop, every fucking chance that they could get. This is what happens. This is what happens when you spend a decade, 1 decade, only caring about the memes and the cack and the blowing the fuck out of people. You get taken advantage by multinational trillionaires that have used you as useful idiots for damn near a decade. And when they finally turn their backs on you too, there'll be nobody left. Nobody left. Oh. Grift Hexenhammer 666, thank you for voting for us, but we no longer need you. What's that other guy? Tim McPool or whatever his fucking ass is. Him too, Grifter Yiannopoulos, all of them. They don't need them. These are just some dorks in a bedroom, just like me, making YouTube videos or in a studio. Some of them aren't even coherent anymore. It's all about the moolah. Mas dinero. The ugly truth about it is these are all just fucking insecure, toxic ass people that are trying to force their will on the world when the world so obviously doesn't want it. They want to make it seem like it was this grand landslide victory. It was the tightest of margins. You know, my friend says, if Hassan Piker would have told people not to vote, he thinks there possibly could have been a tighter margin. Think of all the undecided people, or all the people that voted third party. Oh yes, we're going after them too. At a time like this, where it's more polarized than ever before in this country, the noble thing to do would have been to pick the lesser of two evils when you had the fucking devil looking at you for months. But instead they said, I'm gonna stick to my principles. I'm gonna vote for fucking whoever libertarian candidate or Jill Stein. Who the fuck cares about Jill Stein? At a time like this, I sure don't. People with medical issues sure don't. Veterans sure don't. Federal workers sure don't. You know, I saw this video. Teachers for Trump in a county in West Virginia, where half of my lineage pretty much comes from. This county, 80% of its population voted for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance in November. And they had this big special, Teachers for Trump, and how they've been fooled. Oh no! They said, this isn't what I voted for. Yes, the fuck it is! And now you're saying sorry and oh, I understand, I'm getting a lot of hate, and it's because you have the least consequence from this vote. What did I see? Blue-eyed Protestant wasps. The type of people that would benefit regardless. And these people still don't realize it, you know? It's like we're living in a fucking parallel dimension. Something fucked up happened a decade ago. Who knows? We got this loon. This fucking senile loon who built his whole campaign off of saying someone was mentally inept to do a job when this guy is like nilly-willy firing thousands, millions of fucking federal employees. You know, they just got rid of like a nuclear safety team pretty much. And then they realized, oh fuck, we might actually need that. So they're trying to get them back, but they don't know how to. When you realize that you've sold out your entire country and your fellow countrymen and women to a South African national who piggybacked off of an even more egregious person, an orange, vile, egomaniacal maniac, multiple felonies under his belt, 25 rape accusations, on the Epstein list. And when you realize that man's piggybacking off of that egregious person because he's probably blackmailing him and turning this into a Russian-style oligarchy, it'll be too late. You voted for this. You voted for this. All these dads that would have voted for Second Amendment rights over their daughters' reproductive rights. All these men that would have voted for private enterprise at the expense of the health of the fucking planet. My gun rights. My gun rights. But at least we got those new armored cyber trucks. Oh no! A manufactured airspace disaster in many of them. We'll just put SpaceX in.